What's up, guys? So, got a great fucking tip for you guys today. Great video. You ever make a protein shake, and no matter how fast or what speed you put it on the blender, you always get these little balls of they're like powder that didn't blend properly. They're just like little balls, and they're like little fucking I don't know what we'd call it. But there's annoying as hell. It's the powder that doesn't get mixed properly. They're just little balls. Whatever. I didn't explain that properly. Anyways, whatever. I have the solution for you. Okay, that's what you do. It's a little time consuming, but definitely makes up for it. So, what you want to do is get your protein powder, and you want to get one of these things here, and you just oops, kind of hard to do this while filming, but there we go. So you just take your comme ça, put that in there like that. Every tub that I buy, I do this with. You know, because sometimes it's been shitting on the shelves for fucking, who knows how long, right? Well, the isolate's pretty expensive, so chances are high it's been sitting on the shelf for quite some time. And see, these are the balls I'm talking about, right? And for some reason, when you put them in the milk, the milk encapsulates it, right? So you get these fucking disgusting balls that go to the side of your blender or stick to the bottom of the thing. And sorry, my words aren't that articulate today. Let me just do something like that, and it separates it permanently, and it makes your protein shake so much more enjoyable. For me, I hate it because it gets stuck in my teeth, and I know some people might like it. It would be like a cookie dough type of thing, but I personally don't like it. So I'll sift it out like that. Almost done. There we go. So, put that back in there. I'll deal with that later. So that's the difference. You have that compared to that. I hope it helps. It's like a double-edged sword, right? The job's making you miserable, and you're trying to hang on to some sense of yourself and try not to succumb to your breaking your values or any of your morals. So you're trying to play this game, this very dangerous game with your soul, and you could lose all your money and people you love through this process. But what I found out was I completely lost myself. Not because of the drugs or the mental illness. I became something else because I stayed in that business. And that was the toughest part, right? Because now that you're no longer in that business, you're left with this shell of yourself, like, who the fuck am I? I'm this now? Okay, well, what do I do? Oh, I know exactly what I do, because this is the type of person I am. This is what I'm going to do, right? So you continue the same path, because now you've become this thing. And this thing is miserable and full of hate and you're gonna be drawn to your next job that allows you to be that person, and that's what's happened to me, right? "Quote unquote muscle hire." You know, and then the light bulb finally goes off, and just like, I can't be this person anymore. It wasn't like, oh, I can't handle this mental illness anymore. Oh, I can't handle being a drug addict anymore. Oh, I can't handle being an alcoholic anymore. It was like, who the fuck was I when I was 18? You know, when looking everything back, like, let's see if we can find that guy again. You know, what was that guy at 18 thinking about? You know, what was the dreams of that 18-year-old? What was his aspirations? Of course, besides fucking getting laid, because 18-year-olds, that's all they think of was get laid, right? You know, and driving home from out west, dude, it was like, it's impossible. I've done too much, I've come too far. There is just no way to change what I became. And it all started from being in a job that I didn't like. Actually, like is a soft word. Like, I fucking hated going to work. I fucking hated it. I can't stress how much I hated it. And bodybuilding's always been in my life since a kid. Something always threw me off track. Even when I was loblaws, you know, in the early days. Well, of course, my first memory of bodybuilding was Joe Weider's Bodybuilding Encyclopedia. It was like a package, you know, you get this book and charts and stuff. It was like in 1983. You know, and I always went back to it, and like I said, could never stick with it, right? Like, even when I got really sick when I was off, probably 2013, just a couple years before I would let go. I figured it out. I had figured it out. But given that situation at that time, I just couldn't pursue it. A lot of reasons. But that stuck with me. You know, I even remember saying in one of my past videos, you know, I was actually trying to think, when was I, since, you know, like, it couldn't have been all bad since I started with Costco in 96. There must have been some points in my life where I was really happy. You know, there must have been some points in there. And a lot of those, two of those times was when I was actually into bodybuilding, really into bodybuilding. You know, 1998, me and my first wife were really into it. Like, we actually had a gym in our house, like fucking serious fucking gym. You know, I think we spent almost over 10 grand on it. You know, and then again in 2008, you know, working out made me happy, but just couldn't sustain it. I wouldn't make it a priority over everything else. My job always came before that. You know, came before your happiness, your own happiness. You know, you have to plan for your escape. You have to, if you're in a shitty job, and you want to follow your passion, you have to plan for it, But what you fail to say is it's going to be a hell of a lot more than that. It's going to be, you have to take a pretty good look at who you are now, and that was probably one of my biggest challenges. The job became who I was. Like, that's what it was. This character, this turbo, this number one. There was no Scott outside of work and Scott at work. It was the same guy. Living the same story, living the same craziness. There wasn't a separation. There wasn't a home life and a work life. That was the hardest part. Was, well, this person doesn't know how to do anything else.